Hi, thanks for stopping by. I have got a little story I want to share with you today about my 10th great grandfather, Thomas Hatch, and my 10th great grandmother, Grace Lewis. And this is a story that has been passed down in verbal tradition. There is no written record other than the one I'm going to read to you right now. And this is contributed by Bonnie Benhart on Family Search. And I got a kick out of it. And so I just wanted to share just this one little aspect of Thomas Hatch and Grace Lewis's life with you. So we're going to go back, 10th great grandfather, we're talking early 1600s, okay? And we're back in England. And Thomas Hatch was a farmer, and there was also some record that he was also a very successful tailor, but he was known to be quite a good farmer. And he was quite smitten by a young lady who was also came from a farming background by the name of Grace Lewis. And supposedly they met when the Lewis family was bringing some of their crops into the marketplace, and Thomas Hatch had a chance to see her and meet her and was quite smitten. And so let me share with you this story. It says, Miss Grace, it seems, was a very winsome and popular young woman. And I had to look up what winsome meant, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same. Look up Merriam-Webster and look up winsome, and that will describe my 10th great grandmother, Grace Lewis. She was winsome and popular, and Thomas had more than one rival for her heart and hand. So apparently she was quite a stunning little thing, and all the boys were quite smitten by her. So what they decided to do, they said the contest for her heart and hand finally simmered down to Thomas and one other young man. And Miss Grace could not, found it very difficult to decide which one she liked better. And so finally, since they were all farmers, they agreed by all the parties concerned that the fate would be determined by a reaping match. He who could reap a certain equal measured portion of field of grain would get the prize of Miss Grace's hand and heart. So they laid out a section of field, I'm guessing maybe wheat, and Thomas and his number one competitor would have a contest to see who could reap this section of ground the quickest. All right. Now, Miss Grace herself, being a farmer's daughter and a skillful reaper in her own right, determined that she would also have a hand in this contest. And since this contest was going to decide her fate, she wanted to be a part of it. So another measure of land was measured out so that now three of them would all reap together. Of course, the winner of the two guys getting to marry Miss Grace. Okay. So it says, consequently, she, with true feminine diplomacy, had her equal portion staked out between the other two, and the contest began. Reaping grain at the time was done by a hand sickle, and if you've ever seen those sickles, you just swipe them back and forth, cuts the grain down. Okay. In the meantime, as her fate was so near a determination, Miss Grace did some rigorous thinking, as is apt to be the case when events of such serious consequences are imminent. And having concluded that, on the whole, she rather liked Thomas a little better than the other guy. So she slyly cut over into a little bit of Thomas's portion, thus enabling him to finish slightly ahead of his competitor. So that's the story. I guess even though fate may determine a lot of things in your life, it never really hurts to stack the deck in your favor, as was the case with my 10th great grandmother, Grace Lewis, helping out Thomas Hatch just a little bit so he could win out over his competitor. And they were married. And 10 generations later, here I sit, grateful for her. Was it cheating? No, I think I wouldn't call that cheating. I think that's being wise and using the gifts you've got to your own personal betterment. So, well done, Grandma Lewis. Appreciate your efforts. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you again next time.